1 week of lunch breaks is 5 hours of training opportunities. With a bit of planning, it's amazing how much you can get out of this valuable time. So today I'm going to be putting it to the test and seeing what I can get out of my 5 lunch breaks. Starting the week off with a run. No structure on this one, it's just a bit of a recovery run to get the body moving again after the weekend. So I've got my run kit with me, my towel, and obviously a change of underwear. In actual fact, that's a little bit of a lie because I've already got my running kit on, ready for a quick escape when it does get to lunchtime. I've just got a few hours left of working until I can get out for my run. Now, I don't know about you, but I usually do quite a lot of miles running and cycling over the weekend. So it's nice to maximise that recovery with a lie-in Monday morning. And then I see this lunchtime jog as a bit of a treat. I don't worry about pace or distance. You do just obviously have to keep an eye on the time to make sure you're back in time. I usually find I can squeeze in 30 to 40 minutes of jog. Obviously, depends on your changing time. Yeah, the cap is serving a purpose. It's hiding a multitude of sins, some rather damp, frizzy hair. And I know not everyone can wear a baseball cap at work. It's one of the advantages of working at GTN, and it saves me a lot of time. But one tip to any girls or anyone with long hair, invest in some dry shampoo if you want to exercise at lunchtime, as it can help to hide some hair that maybe needs a little bit of a wash. And I also prefer my easy runs at lunch, especially in the winter, as I don't tend to get so sweaty and can dampen down any red face that much quicker. Today we have less of a challenge on our time and a very low risk of getting sweaty and no chance of getting wet or muddy. Lunchtime stretches or yoga are one of my favourites. A bit of a treat for your body to kind of get it moving after hours of sitting at your desk. And I know here at work I'm lucky to get away with activewear being acceptable, but even if where you work you do have to get changed, you simply just need to put a pair of leggings on and a top, so very little time is required. You've got options here. Maybe there's a lunchtime in-person yoga class close to where you work. I've actually got the perfect 45-minute one, a 2-minute walk from the office. And I know not everyone is so lucky, but maybe if you're working at home, then you'll save any travel time. So why not just roll out your mat and follow an online yoga flow? Alternatively, you might know what areas need work and simply do your own stretches. For some guidance, you can check out our post-run stretch routine. Working in an office and not being a member of the gym, then why not head to the nearest park and work on your mobility there? This is probably the hardest day, or should I say training, to try and fit into your lunchtime. How do we address swimming on your lunch break? It obviously depends on where you live and what you've got available. I mean, not all of us are as lucky as Mark with a swimming pool in his backyard. Now, I know I'm really lucky to have a gym right next to the office, just a couple of minutes walk. It has only got a small pool, but I usually manage to squeeze a 2K swim in and be back at my desk within the hour. It is rare, I know, but if you do have a pool near you, then make sure you go with a structured session already in mind so you can get the most out of that time. And I'd suggest doing something that's got minimal amount of rest and maximum amount of swimming. And of course, you still need to factor in that shower time, and do remember that goggle marks sometimes last a while. So if I'm ever filming in the afternoon and I've got my sunglasses on, you know why. No pool? Well, no problem within reason, because you can still do some exercises that are going to help with your swimming. So either getting out the exercise bands or heading to the gym for an upper body workout. We got rather good at this during quarantine, and you can use it as a bonus session for when the pools are back open near you. And if you're going to be doing a strength session, whether swim related or not, see if you can use your commute to the gym as a bit of a warm up. So you'll be saving time on your warm up, but also getting there much quicker if you do a little bit of a jog. Oh, you didn't really think I was going to forget about cycling, did you? This one admittedly needs a bit more planning and clock watching. You're going to need those full 60 minutes to get a session in. But when it does come to these tougher sessions, you need to think about your fueling and making sure that you're not getting distracted by being so hungry, but also vice versa, that you're not going to be really full and get a stitch on your session. So it's a good idea if you're going to train at lunchtime to make sure on that day you have a really good breakfast. And then I'd suggest having a mid-morning snack, sort of an hour or so before you plan to do your training, whether that's some rice cakes or a banana or something similar. Time is limited here. Getting ready for a bike ride does take a bit longer, so you need to make the most of that precious time. And hills are the perfect answer. Ride up them hard. You don't really have a chance to slack off anyway, and then you can simply use the descent as your recovery. That way you'll naturally get less time recovering and more time pedaling. And then rather than focusing on distance, and just keep an eye on the time. It's amazing how hard you can work in just 40 minutes of hill reps. We started the week with a run, why not finish it with a run? This one, however, does involve a lot more effort and therefore a bit more pre-planning, and we have touched on fueling on Thursday's bike session, so you'll want to consider that as well. And if you can, wear as much of your run kit beforehand as possible, as much as your work will let you get away with. And you can even go to the extreme of tightening your shoelaces so that as soon as it gets to your lunch break, all you have to do is shut your laptop, head out the door and start your session. So, a 10-minute progressive warm-up should mean you're ready to go, and then on that 10-minute mark, run at around your 3k effort pace, basically hard for 30 seconds, followed by the next 30 seconds of a jog, super easy to recover. Repeat this 20 times. And if you want to make sure you're back on time, do an out and back and turn around at the halfway point. And then I'd recommend doing 5 to 7 minutes of jog cool down before walking the remainder, so you can lower your heart rate and your body temperature a little bit further. There's nothing worse than showering, getting back to your desk and then sitting there starting to sweat again. It's unlikely that these training sessions are going to be the only ones you're doing Monday to Friday, but they can complement, and these are obviously just suggestions. But if you are planning on doing further training later in the day, you need to make sure that you refuel from these properly, and that's where you might need a slightly understanding boss who's happy for you to maybe have your lunch at your desk, or even ask if you can start half an hour earlier and have an extended lunch break to get your refueling in. Well, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this and found it useful. Give us a like, and remember to check out our social media channels too and follow us there.